love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Welcome, guys. The days are counting down until Madden 24 drops, and we start the Madden 24 franchise season for us. Hopefully, no major reboots, no draft glitches. Hopefully, we could get through many seasons to play and not have to reboot every third or fourth season. So, the goal is, as always, to run as long as we can with this league, but we are excited to get started. BJ, how are you feeling today?
I'm great. What's going on, guys? I'm just going to assume that we probably will have to reboot at some point, because Madden sucks. So, I don't want to get
positive thoughts only around here. Don't negativity.
We get our hopes up and then things just go downhill. So if I just prepare for the worst, then I'm already. My expectations are already thrown out of the way,
I'm in optimism. It's going to be a great Madden year. I feel like it's going to be a fantastic Madden year. And to start out with, we got some breaking news, some changes to start out this Madden year. As everyone knows, team selection is coming around the corner. Oh, wait a minute. That says, that's today. Oh. Yes, guys, today, August 3rd, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 4%. If you're Mountain Time, 5 Central Time. If you're Alaska Time, that's like 2 p.m. Does that cover all the time zones for everyone? If you're in Europe, I'm sorry, I don't know your time zones that well. But yes, today is the day. We have moved it up. Looking at myself and BJ's schedule, this is the best time we could do it to make sure we get this video live stream done. So tune in tonight. BJ's YouTube channel is where the live stream is going to be happening. The draft order, the wheel will be spinning. Who will get the first selection? Go from 1 to 32 to see what teams get selected. Where you're going to be ordered. Just a reminder, there are no trades this year. You're not allowed to trade. Too much of a headache, too much of an issue. There are no trades allowed for team selection this year. Take the team that you want to take. If you're interested in how gameplay is, Madden 24 on EA Madden NFL on YouTube released a gameplay video today of some of the guys playing it. Take a look at it, see how you feel. There's some very good interesting concepts in there. One of the biggest takeaways we'll talk about later that I saw of it when we disregard Madden 24 and just focus on that. But today is the day that everyone's been waiting for. Team selection for Madden 24. BJ, are you excited?
I'm really excited. Hopefully I get my team. I actually need to get my list of teams now. I have my number one choice, and I haven't even thought about number two. So,
number one choice, Houston Texans. I get it, BJ. We'll make sure they're not drafted for you. We'll make sure you can have them.
The funny part is that this year I think Houston might not be one of those teams that you can just get, But I think that team's probably
they did trade away a lot of their draft picks, so that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
But yeah, I'm excited. Ready to get this thing started. Just a heads up reminder, if you did not watch the last video just on how the draft goes, your name gets picked. I'm picking names, not what team you're gonna get. So it's gonna be the order in which you get to pick. As you see, you get 8 hours to pick that team, and that all is going to start after the draft is over. Not as soon as your name comes up, you get 8 hours. So we're going to see what time that we finish the whole live stream and start counting that 8 hours. If there's an issue, we're going to try not to skip anybody because we do understand that we're moving this time up, so you might not have prepared for it. So we're going to try our hardest not to skip anybody unless it gets to the point where it's like 16, 17, 18 hours. Then it's like, all right. But we're trying to keep that 8 hour mark.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're one of those guys, don't feel like you're going to miss that. You can always DM. the main people running the team such as myself and BJ, you DM one of us your top 5 lists, then we'll go which team is number 1 on your list if they're still invading to so on and so forth. If they're all gone, then we'll DM you personally and hopefully you can give us a team selection and you don't have to get skipped. But if you feel like that's the case, you have some big events coming up, send us a list. Man, you can send a list of 1 through 32 at that point. We don't care, but that's your own priority if you just are that concerned about missing your selection and that nature. But we're excited for that. But there's one thing we do need to talk about. We didn't talk about the last video. We did talk about the new token system, the new trait regression, adjusting the draft classes and everything. We had changes to our commission rules this year. So you know who and what to go ask for. And so it also eases the commission workload. And also you don't sit there waiting around twiddling your thumbs waiting for a commission to get something done. So start off, me and BJ, we'll be doing content like this year. We're going to be making the videos every 4 weeks, posting that video content out for you guys. Maybe I have done weekly recaps in Word documents. I might bring that out for every other week as well when we don't have videos. So to keep things spicy up so people can read that. Advance, we are responsible for Advance. We'll make sure Advance is on time, and Advance is delayed because it's a late game. We'll make sure Advance immediately happens afterwards. And we'll be updating Neon to make sure the Discord channels are created properly, make sure the stats are updated correctly so we can have a better action for that, and make sure that people who submit trade requests for Neon and trade requests in general, that we are looking at that, make sure getting approved by the commission, talking to the commission panel on that side of things. Then you got Cole. Cole streams, go check all the streams for us. Obviously, like you said, this past year you get a token for making a certain amount of stream milestones of that nature. So Cole will be tracking that, make sure everything's up to date on that. And any big announcements to the league, if we have a major rule change, changes the schedule, like if we're going to push Advance maybe one day in general because of a holiday, or we're going to a 24-hour event, or if there's a massive announcement that needs to be released, that will be Cole's main job. And then the last people are Steven and Cam. They will be handling the player edits and the game of the week tokens. They will be creating the separate game of the weeks, 3 to 4 point spread, making sure tracking who get the game of the week token, they get all 4 correct, and making sure when we have to make those player edits or people spend those tokens on, that they're getting done correctly, and making sure that people also are not teasing the player edits, which we'll talk about in franchise gameplay rules, and making sure people are not abusing and trying to earn more XP than they're supposed to be, or turning someone to a position they're not allowed to be playing at. So,
especially if they're trying to sign a player, something crazy like that. Just one thing I want to make sure that I want to hit on as far as events. It is extremely important, guys, that you are communicating within the Discord tabs that is provided. Anything in the DM, we cannot see it. So we're waiting on your response to tell us what's going on. So if it's not in the Discord thing, you need to make sure that whatever information that you and your person is talking to, your opponent, whatever y'all talking to in the DMs, that is sent to us in a timely fashion, because otherwise we're going to assume that you didn't communicate because nobody said anything to us.
And be a fair stem, no questions asked. But if you do communicate, take a screenshot of the DMs so we can look at it, and then we can post that in your chat channel. Because obviously some people don't respond to the group Discord, but they respond to DMs, which is understandable. But just make sure you do DMs, post the DM chats in the Discord so we can see the tabs and inside your respective tabs. So. But now we got to talk about some gameplay rules. Yes, there are some massive gameplay rules. This is number one. It's going to be the most debated, but it's something that needs to be done. I was guilty at this. I think a lot of people are guilty at this. We want to make it a little bit more realistic, but we want to value the position of linebackers. So with that is linebackers must be number 1 on your sub linebacker depth chart. What does that mean? So when you come out your nickel and dime packages, you have 2 sub linebackers. In this past Madden, they had no rule, but people would just run safeties out there. So they literally be a 6'3", 6'4" safety out there, and the run game wasn't effective, and they could just stop the run at will, but also cover any pass that's within 5 to 25 yards on the field. Not realistic, because defenses don't do that. They don't run 2 safeties as a sub linebacker. They run one, agreed. Perfect example of that will be the Los Angeles Chargers when Derwin James does come down and play that sub linebacker role, but they're not bringing another safety with them. There's a linebacker on the field with them. It's usually him and Kenneth Murray last year. This year, it's going to be him, and I forget who they ever drafted in middle linebacker because Kenneth Murray's not there anymore. Same thing with the Ravens. The Ravens, Kyle Hamilton will come down and play sub linebacker, but Patrick Queen was on the field with them. That's now it's Roquan Smith now. So that's like the tendency to see. Like, the same thing with the 49ers. Fred Warner was on the field, but I'm not gonna butcher his name. I can't pronounce the name, but what?
Troy Polamalu Jr.
Yeah. The Troy Polamalu discount great value version. No disrespect to him, but Troy Polamalu was just that guy. But like stuff like that, that's more realistic. To combat that, to make us more realistic in the league, you must have one linebacker, and it must be at the starting depth chart of your sub linebacker. The second one could be any safety you want. We're not putting a speed restriction, not putting a height restriction. It could be a 6'8" safety that runs 97 speed. Good for you. You got some freak athlete. He could play the second spot as a sub linebacker. But there at least must be one linebacker in that sub linebacker role. If he's not in there and we see that will be a violation of rules, and that'll come punishment in the following week. So that's the biggest rule. That some common rules we want to make sure people are aware of is no more than 2 abilities. That's going to be massive this year because they increase the superstar abilities and the expected abilities for certain overalls on the skill position players and also for quarterbacks. So it's you make sure you don't stack more abilities. You can have no more than 2 of a certain ability. It was talked about dropping that to 1. That's a little bit too much chaotic, but no more than 2 of the same ability. So you only can have 2 acrobats or 2 route techs. That nature. You can't stack abilities. That's the biggest thing. Just making sure you get that message clear. If we see that, we'll let you know and say change it before your game starts. If you don't change it before the game, you go with it. That's a penalty. Position editing and no crazy position editing. A wide receiver is not allowed to go play running back. There's certain formation packages of which you put wide receiver in the back for running back. The Vikings have one. The 49ers have one. The Saints also have one for Taysom Hill. So they have certain packages for those positions. So you're not allowed to change your wide receiver to go play running back. Therefore, you're not allowed to change your running back to go play wide receiver. Going with that, a quarterback cannot be changed to a safety and moved into the sub linebacker spot. That's not allowed. Can't do that. You could change a quarterback to a safety, but he's not allowed to go step the foot inside the sub linebacker. If you see him playing the sub linebacker spot at all for any game, if you like having a depth chart or you have to do a formation sub, not allowed. Penalty or adjust this accordingly. Position offensive lineman. You can edit any offensive lineman play any position. They can play center, could go play tackle can go play center. Guard can play tackle, so on and so forth. Obviously no safety is allowed to go play linebacker. You cannot take a free safety and go make him a middle linebacker. That's not allowed. You can't do that. If you see that, depending on what happened. So any other crazy positions I'm forgetting about that now loud?
No. Just the main thing, guys, is maybe you're like a receiver, the quarterback or something. I don't know, but just the main thing, guys, is just we understand that there are some special unicorns in the league, and they might be able to play multiple different positions. If you feel like you have a player that was like, he played this in college, and you want him to play that on your team, ask us.
Yes.
We'll talk. We'll figure out if we agree and think that that's a good thing for a league or whatever. But just ask before you do it. And I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, if it's something reasonable, we're not going to say no to it unless you're saying, like, I got this 99 speed receiver that played running back in high school. Can I put him at running back? No. The cutoff is college. And that's a big F too. College, like, if it's like his freshman year of college, probably not. But if it's a sophomore or junior season before he went to the draft, you know what? We can look at it. Also, the draft process here, they have, like Madden stated, like there's players who can play multiple positions. We will also be looking at that, and like if that's the case for generated rookies, it won't be a big discussion and just, hey, let us know, and then we'll verify. We'll look at his ratings real quickly. Yeah, he definitely can play that position, and then we'll let you switch him over because that's what Madden has stated that is a thing this year. So, and case situation. So just ask. We'll let you guys know. We'll probably put a whole. Matter of fact, I'll make a note. if we don't already have one, to get a tab for that specifically.
Yes, we will. We'll make we generate position edit or rookies position edit, so we know like what you're doing and like what position you want to edit to. So we'll probably create that for that. That's why BJ is the guru of Discord. Honestly, no motion mapping that hasn't changed. That's basically the same things. Fourth down rules. The only big change of the fourth down rules that's later in the season is going to be playoff fourth down rules. So we won't cover it right now because we have to get through 17 weeks of Madden football before we get to the playoffs. So there's no big changes for regular season fourth down rules. But playoff rules, there will be one change to the fourth down rules, and we'll talk about it more in detail then. But
it's nothing major.
Yeah, nothing massive. Nothing like that you're want to take your system and throw out the window or leave the league. You know what? Maybe some people don't like change, but who knows? But Madden 24, the time has come. We made it through a Madden 23. There's a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs this year. It's been well known that Madden 23 massively dropped the ball on franchise about this year. And it was a big disappointment, a lot of glitches and everything of that nature. Killed a lot of leagues, and some of us made it through, some of us did not make it through. Some of us had to take a break from it. It's just it's like commish, we like making content for you guys, and we like to put our full effort into franchise developing teams. When Madden kept dropping the ball on it, it's made me realize I'm not going to put as much effort into making content this year, which I'm sorry you guys had to witness, and take a step back from the league and just not handle any commission work and just make sure, hope that 24 was going to be a fresh and focus on franchise updates, which it seems it has to be. Like, there seems a lot of positive updates for franchise in Madden 24. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for everyone to be able to get their hands on it and play the mode, start our leagues. I think there's a lot of good changes coming in Madden 24 for the franchise side of things. Some of the biggest things I'll touch real quick is the training camp feature. We won't be fast forwarding for preseason like we've done in the past. We're going to let people use the training camp, do the drills, so they earn that XP for people they want to develop, maybe get those skill points so they can develop their team how they want to develop. That's a big, massive improvement for progressing players in that nature, depending on how you want to do it. The trade system, updating for players and picks. You don't have to do two separate trades. When you do a massive trade, you can do everything in one trade now. Makes things so much easier to do. And then the contract restructure system, the trait regression, the draft class edits you can do for it, all creative tools for us commission, make the league more entertaining, more exciting. So it's not like the same draft class where you got a 99 speed receiver at all times, but you like have more fast cornerbacks in one year or maybe weaker receivers in other years. That's something that's exciting that we can create and edit so we can make the longevity league go further into it. So I'm excited for that side of things. The gameplay, I played a little bit of it. One thing is, I know high throws was a big thing in Madden 24. People just high throw and they'll catch everything. There's nothing, and an inaccurate high throw is very rare to see. However, in the gameplay they released today, a high throw for Patrick Mahomes, and that's why the quarterback, the high throw to Travis Kelce, perfect actually. However, Travis Kelce was he hit his hands and he dropped it, because it was a little bit out of his reach and everything, which gives us the realization that you can't just be high throwing everything when it shouldn't be a high throw, because it could drop out of the player's hands, even though they might be a 99 overall guy. So that's something positive to see from that aspect of things. BJ, do you got anything specific for what you've seen in Madden 24, what you're excited about?
As the run guru, I'm really excited about the run game and not having linemen dumb out in the middle of my run plays. So hopefully, of course, I'm sure they're going to still have some dumb situations and spots, but the run game seems great. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of a headache this year to start the year off. Not sure if it's going to stay that way throughout the year, but as far as what year was it? The run game was just super OP with the stretch plays. 19, 20?
No, 21, right? 22. No, 20 was the Superman linebacker rule, right?
Maybe. But I'm sure everybody knows which Madden I'm talking about when everybody was spamming stretch plays.
Stretch in it. Was it?
But
20, because 23 this year was the franchise sucking glitch, and it was all about high throws and crossers and DB fire blitz too, because the offensive line couldn't pick up any splits and corner for some reason. Last year, which was 22, was a scrambling quarterback. Every quarterback was Lamar Jackson get outside the pocket and
that was insane.
do great.
Escape artist was insane.
That was not a fun year to be
and to add to that for this year.
Oh yeah, that was also the year that Escape Artist was a superstar ability and it wasn't an X Factor ability still, so that made things even worse. Mm-hmm. Or was that 21? No, 22 still had a superstar.
But just to add to that, quarterback play is a lot better as far as scrambling.
It makes mobile quarterbacks feel mobile, but it's not overpowered like you're screwed. If you play contain, you will stop a mobile quarterback from the outside the pocket.
We didn't get a chance to play each other again after the beta came back out, but me and CG played, and it was like we tried some stuff out. It was like, hey, do it with no contain on this play and see how easy it is to get out. It's like, okay, that was pretty easy. Add the contain to it, and it slowed down, And I believe you had Josh Allen?
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't play it enough to learn how to do the little Superman throw thing, so we didn't really work for us, but maybe somebody else did, and it was super easy, but hopefully they patched that crap, because that could give a lot of people some headaches if that's going to be.
I tried so many times to get in, I couldn't get it because I was just curious as to how it would. Never got it once. So we got a bunch of crazy throws up, but we just didn't get the Superman one. So
Going is back.
Yeah, so but also I think we realized too, we thought we were playing all Madden competitive. We loaded up in the play of the game because we played this in franchise mode. We figured out it was Sim and I'm Pro, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah. And so hopefully, that's one thing I will say that hopefully they fixed. Because I didn't like the way I'd seen, because all the stuff that we were doing in the league, it didn't save. Like we were adjusting some of the settings, and it didn't save throughout the franchise for some reason.
It's most likely the beta. That's what it is. Obviously, it makes sense. Okay, I wasn't harping on that. It was beta. I think it's going to be fixed when we actually get the game come back.
I'm hoping it will be, but I'm just saying we also got
stop being negative. Positivity.
It's Madden we're talking about, man. I'm just gonna brace yourself, guys. It could be amazing. It could be awful.
Yeah, I know. But so wrap up here because today's the day, so we don't want to make this video too long and then make you turn into 2 super long videos. Job selection, BJ. Top 3 picks. If you get one of the top 3 picks, who are you taking?
One of the top 3 picks.
Yeah, so if you get pick 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, so you got 3 teams no matter what. You like your third team.
Well, number 1 is the Steelers. Number 2. I'm actually interested in Titans. Maybe not a top 3 pick, but and then the other two. No, number 2. We put 3 is the Titans. Number 2 is the Jags.
Intriguing. The Titans is a very interesting team because they got 2 young quarterbacks. It's like, which direction go? Do you use the more mobile throw power, doesn't have a very accurate arm of Malik Lewis, or do you use Will Levis, who has a bigger arm and better accuracy? Well, not bigger arm, same arm, but better accuracy stats. You have a threat now that you hop out there and you set up there going to run a ball, but you take away that read option game. Will Levis can run a little bit of it, but not as effective as Malik Willis can, because he's obviously a little bit faster, but he's a lower overall as well. So obviously very older defense as well, and secondary with the safety side of things. Cornerbacks are very young still. You still got Jeffrey Simmons, so very interesting. The Titans. Jag got superstar Trevor Lawrence. Superstar quarterbacks are massively important this year because they get the 3 abilities, and from what we've seen, they get the gunslinger in the 3rd spot at certain positions don't get the gunslinger. That was intriguing to find out. Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, got receiving court, got a very good defense as well. Also, Pittsburgh Steelers is your home team, so I'm not going to talk about that.
I lied about the Titans, by the way.
Oh,
the team is, and I'm sorry, dude. The third team will be the Seahawks.
That's invalid. By the way, guys, we have 31 teams up for selection. Duke is grandfather into the Seahawks every Madden.
Get him.
He's grandfather into the Seahawks. Duke is a massive Seahawks fan from the Washington area, loves his team, and then every year, no matter where he's at, top of the board, middle of the board, bottom of the board, the Seahawks are going to Duke. So that's the selection.
Nobody cared that I wanted the Steelers. So
no one likes you. Duke is a good guy. No, so hopefully Duke does get a chance to pick the Seahawks again, but I think Duke will also be okay trying someone different as well, so it should be interesting. For me, my top 3 picks, I'm not going to say the Bills because I got lucky enough to get the Bills at number 10 in another league, so I will have the Bills in a different league to play Madden this year, so I'm excited to use my homeboy Josh Allen and take that team to the promised land. After many heartaches the past couple playoffs, which this is the year for the Buffalo. We're going to make a run. Everyone's going to stay healthy, and we're going to make a run this year. Hopefully everyone stays healthy. So Bills won't be my number 1 choice. For me, my number 1 choice is the Indianapolis Colts. And the only reason I won't pick them is if Cam's a massive Colts fan, and he's right behind me in the pick order, and the Colts are up there, I will not pick the Colts. I'll let him have his team. I'm a respectful gentleman who lets people have their favorite team when they have it. But Cole and me and Cam are completely different sides of the board. I will take the Colts. I want to use the rookie Anthony Richardson, a project quarterback coming to the league, strong arm, freak athlete, reminds you a lot of Cam Newton. However, has a little more touch than Cam Newton did. Cam Newton was a power runner. Anthony Richardson has power, but he has speed. That man can hit a different gear if he gets open space. Hopefully Jonathan Taylor's not traded by then and they figure out the contract issues. But even if that's not the case, hopefully we start to think before that even happens so he can use Jonathan Taylor. Quentin Nelson, big superstar, one of the best offensive line in the league, probably the second best guard in the league right now, right behind Zach Martin. From Notre Dame as well. Very tall receivers. You got Michael Pittman out there. Very young DB core as well. I mean, it's a very fun, entertaining team to develop and build and work with the future. Because knowing you can have your future quarterback or don't you building him in that nature. Second team that I am very intrigued and I want to use. This time we go over to the NFC side of things and we go to the city of Chicago Bears, the Bears. Justin Fields been hyped as an MVP level quarterback this year. People talking about he could play at that level. He was given the worst situation last year, didn't really have that many skill sets. His best weapon was Cole Kmet, a tight end from Notre Dame. Love Cole, but he's not that big play threat like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, George Kittle. Doesn't provide that to the team. And then they traded for a receiver of wannabe fashion designer model Chase Claypool from the Steelers. Didn't really pan out very well. He's still on the team, but they went out and got him talent. They got offensive line for him. They got DJ Moore. They got skilled players to help build around him so he gives him more of a threat to throw the ball this year and to use those legs as well. Herbert should be back. And it creates this atmosphere that it could be a very big year for Justin Fields in real life. But can you translate to Madden? And then the defense is very young. However, the defense is very entertaining as well if you know how to develop them. And my third and final team, I feel like I'm jumping back into a time machine, going back to Madden 23 for my first team before we had to reboot this league, the Arizona Cardinals. They got multiple draft picks, and you have Kyler Murray. And the project is, do you use Kyler Murray or do you trade him away immediately? Take that year to build, develop, and develop for that year. Or do you just tank? Like, obviously, you're not allowed to tank, biggest rule. But do you just play your games, knowing you're going to lose, and focus on maybe having 3 or 4 first-round draft picks and drafting all young year 2 and building a team from there, knowing you got a team that can take the distance. You have a very young but a very low-ability defense, and you also have picks as well. Or do you take Kyle Murray and trade for one of these other rookie quarterbacks that are available? Do you trade for C.J. Stroud? That someone's willing to trade C.J. Stroud for Kyle Murray? Or do you trade for Anthony Richardson? Someone's going to trade Anthony Richardson. Or do you go after the Titans, like we talked about earlier? What was let's trading that quarterback and seeing that 1 year, can these guys prove it on a 1 year deal with all these draft picks, knowing he's got talent coming in? So multiple different ways for the Arizona Cardinals to use those draft picks and use that talent they have right now. And in the rebuilding phase of entering. So that would be a fun team to use. And I feel like I'm putting myself back into a rabbit hole doing it, but you will shall see. So
yeah, it's a year. It's a plenty of teams. I just counted. There's only 6 teams that I would just hate if I got. So, I'm feeling pretty good this year. So, like, regardless of the team I get, I think I can do something with a lot of these teams. And 6 of those teams, I think other people would want them. So,
yeah, I'll say this Madden with how it paints up, there's not a bad team. Let me say that. If you want to win, to start off like you want to win, and you don't think you're that super talented, yes, there's teams you don't want to win. Houston Texans, fun team to play. It's going to be a fun team to build. But if everyone's being honest, Houston Texans is not a team that's like Super Bowl bound year one. I mean, if you get the God user on the team, or either someone who catches the game so fast, understands the game so well, and understands the basic concepts and like not metas, but like what things work very well in Madden this year, very fast, then you might be in trouble. But there's a lot of good teams this year to start from if you want to rebuild teams, want to be somewhat competitive, someone to build phase, compete, and knowing your time frame is very short. And the biggest thing is why we want to make this league go 6 or 7 seasons and force that team building aspect of things. You can't just play, I have 3 seasons, I'm going to stick the best team, and I'm going to play the 3 seasons, and I know we're going to repeat. No, that's not the case this year. We're going for 6 or 7 years. Make sure to develop your players, make sure to develop your team, make the trades, understand how to manipulate your cap space to best fit. Maybe year 1's not your year, but you know what? Years 4 through 6, you build correctly the first 3 years, and now you're just unstoppable from 4 to 6. Your team is on a different level. Then also using the token system side of things, but like we said, the token system could adjust depending on how easy the games are, because we don't want to have supercharge everywhere like we did this year. So using the token system. But anyways, today is the day, 6 p.m. Eastern. Please show up to the live stream, and if your game gets called and you're on the clock, you can pick your team there too. We'll type it in Discord, so that'd be fun too if everyone's there. But we're not thinking it's gonna happen, but there are options out there for people if they want to do that as well. So. BJ, any final thoughts?
No, I'm excited. I don't want to keep the video too long because I know people got to watch this before the 6 o'clock mark. So I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, no. Appreciate you guys. We look forward to see you guys in the live stream. The upper commissioners might be joining us. Cole might be joining us. Cam might be joining us. Steven might be joining us. 5 commissioners. The 5 horsemen are back, all ready for Madden 24 season. They might be joining us, but you can count for sure this. Myself and BJ will be there, and we'll always provide the great content for you guys. Hope you love it. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope everyone has a great, fantastic day.